What's up, everybody? We are here for a special episode of Abby's Abode, and we appreciate all of you being here. Uh, as always, gotta welcome in Abby. Um, so, Jody, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, how are you guys doing out there today? Let us. Um,
It's a different day than our usual Monday.
yeah, it's a different day, and we're I think we're probably going to talk about that too. We might be shifting to Tuesdays going
Yeah.
forward, just because. Listen, work gets crazy,
Yeah.
and Jody has a crazy schedule right now, and she's got a lot of responsibility and a lot of things she's doing. So, yeah, we're probably going forward. We'll be on Tuesdays. So,
Yeah, it's too difficult for me to, try to get out of work on time on Monday, get home and make sure I get everything to you and yeah, there's a lot going on Mondays. So,
yeah, and that's understandable. So hopefully, we'll spread the word, everyone. But Tuesdays, 6 o'clock, we'll be here.
I
So
apologize for the beeping in the background. I feel a little bit like the pharmacist in that TV show right now, if you've seen it. Um, the battery's going out on our smoke detector, and we're waiting on. Nobody has 9-volt batteries anymore, so we're waiting on some to get delivered so we can
yeah,
change the battery.
yeah, it's all good. I mean, there was a while when I was in my other place where it was like 3-4 weeks before I ever got it changed,
Yeah,
and
so it goes off about every minute or so.
all good.
There you
There it is. All right, so we'll welcome everyone in, and then we'll get started because we do have a lot to discuss this evening. We got a little bit of a vote that we're gonna have shortly.
Just a little
Um,
bit.
yeah, we got some music that we want to talk about, and yeah, and then we got the art. So just want to make sure we have time for that. Um, and tonight is NXT, so if you're looking for a place to go watch along with someone, check out DJ B Tazzy, who's also in the chat. So go check him out. Tazzy, drop that link in the chat if you don't mind. We've got Clown, Jeremy Dunderman, Negan Mock, Static Marie, Dylan McClure. Jody is also in the chat, just letting everyone know. The aforementioned DJ B Tazzy is in here. Let's see who else we got here. Deanna, what's up, Deanna? Thank you for joining. So, welcome everyone. We would greatly appreciate you being here, and I let's just go ahead and get started. We got a lot to cover. So, we're going to start off with music, and obviously, we're going to start off with Caleb's Corner. So,
Of course.
there we go. So, Jody, take it away.
Um, so Trans Siberian Orchestra tour starts tomorrow. How crazy is that? Like, we blink. We've been talking about this TSO tour for months, and it starts tomorrow. Um, I gathered some beautiful pictures of Caleb from the lovely internets of Instagram and Facebook, of course, of just him meeting people and him out on the road and touring with celebrating Meatloaf and just how much fun he has on stage in general. He really is the whole band there is really just a phenomenal presence, and Caleb just brings that extra little flair. Obviously he's not trying to be Meatloaf, but he does a very, very good job honoring him. He puts his own little spin on things, but they've been adding some Rocky Horror Picture Show stuff to the shows, which I guess is actually haven't seen that yet, but apparently it kind of takes it to another level. He always does that during the show. He'll go out and run around in the crowd, which I always think that part's funny. because he just runs around. He gets up in people's cameras as they're taking videos, and it's just funny.
That's
So
awesome
it's
though.
funny to see. But yeah, he. This was actually back from the show that I went to in Birmingham in the UK. I did not take this picture, but it's beautiful. Um, the the lovely ladies of the Celebrating Meatloaf tour. That one just makes me laugh. So I'm guessing that's during Paradise by the Dashboard Light. I would guess. Um, but unless they were doing something different, with the Rocky Horror Picture show stuff. But that's it's just funny.
Yeah,
they
that's a great shot.
they really get they get to do some acting up there on stage, so they do a good job with that. But yeah, hitting the road with Trent. I love that picture. I didn't actually know that he wore makeup on stage. I mean, I guess you'd have to. But I didn't really kind of realize that until I saw this picture. I'm like, does he have eyeliner on? It might be a filter, I guess.
Maybe, yeah, maybe it does look a little bit like a filter.
It might be a filter.
Yeah.
So this is from tour rehearsals from Trans Siberian Orchestra tour. So looks like they're having a blast there. They look a little tired. They might have had a long day. But yeah, Trans Siberian Orchestra tour starts tomorrow, and I know that they're gonna have a blast. So I found that was actually a video that somebody had posted. I'm like, why is he rolling around on the floor? And it was too funny not to just to clip a picture of it, because he literally was rolling around on the floor. I'm like, what is he doing? But that's the kind of presence that he brings during those shows, because he's one of those, like he said in the interview that he did with me, that he was just born to be a performer, and moments like that definitely make you realize it, because he just gives no f's. Like he just goes with it. I feel like he's a very live in the moment kind of person, and kind of enjoys each moment, which is rare. Not a lot of people have that ability to just live in the moment. I love this picture. But yes, Trans Siberian Orchestra tour starts tomorrow in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Make sure, if this is the East Coast tour that Caleb is a singer for, so make sure that if you are heading out to see Trans Siberian Orchestra, even if it's on the West Coast tour, it's still phenomenal. But Caleb is on the East Coast tour. These are the dates for the East Coast tour. Should be a fantastic time. He always pencils those in at the end of his year, and it's an amazing show. It's a spectacle in and of its own. Some of the posts that some of the guitarists have been posting leading up to, they've been doing dress rehearsals and rehearsing, and I'm sure that's incredibly exhausting. And now they have to go out on stage and do it for a month and a half. Almost every night. So I'm sure that is incredibly exhausting. And I don't blame Caleb. I think Caleb usually takes a few weeks when he gets back and goes to the beach. I totally don't blame him for that.
Can't
But
blame him there.
yes, he won't be at the beach too long, because Celebrating Meatloaf just announced a new date. January the 20th, 2024 in Mississippi. They just announced that yesterday. So if you are in anywhere in northern Mississippi, make sure you go check out that show. And I'm sure they'll be adding more dates between now and when they hit the road in September of next year. They are going back to the UK, which I'm sure they are very, very excited for. Caleb said the crowd over there is just on another level, totally different, probably because Meatloaf meant a lot to that area of the world. So they'll be in September in the UK, going back over there. And at some point early next year, Caleb will be coming out with some new music, and obviously we'll be highly celebrating that and promoting that when he does. We're very, very excited about that. Should be adding some of his own shows in the spring as well. Looking forward to seeing some of those. And yeah, keep your eyes peeled to Celebrating Meatloaf's Instagram page, to Caleb's social media. He'll be posting stuff. Whatever he posts, we talk about. So
I had to put that picture up again because
it's just funny.
it's
He
funny.
literally was rolling on the floor.
But yeah, that's a great shot there. Great shot.
That is a no F's given shot.
Yeah, I like that.
Like, I'm just going to roll around on the floor because I can.
Because I can, darn it. That's why.
Because I can.
That's right. Um, so yeah, check Caleb out. If he's coming to a city near you and you can go, definitely check him out. I am obtaining tickets, I believe, in the next day or so, for the show here in Albany.
You'll
So
love it.
I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And speaking
Always a good time. Actually, we are considering using part of Caleb's uh, version of Good King Joy during our Christmas Eve service at
Mm,
church. So
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, speaking of fun, we might have a little bit of a bracket
we
to
have
discuss.
a bracket to bust.
We do, and here it is, one final opportunity to play this little game. So here we go. All right, so you see the bracket up there. Saw advanced from the Woodsboro region, and Michael Myers Halloween advanced from Haddonfield. So we've got Jigsaw versus Michael Myers here in the final matchup of our bracket, and we're going to rely on your votes, folks, to decide which of these films is going to be a watch along on this channel. And I
You're
guess
gonna auction me off? What?
you got to watch Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Oh, okay.
Um, but yeah, so I guess we'll start with discussions on Saw. Um,
Oh,
when did people in the chat, if you've seen Saw, when did you watch it? What did you think of it? What did you think of the ending? And same questions to you, Jody.
oh man, I think I watched Saw pretty soon after it came out. I didn't watch it in the theaters. I'm pretty sure we watched it at home, but you were invested from the beginning, like right from the beginning, because it was so different, and you're like, what the heck? And then at the end, when you realize that the key actually got flushed down the drain in
Mm-hmm.
the very, very beginning, and you're like, oh shit, he could have been out of this a long time before that. I'm like, that was kind of sneaky because you knew it was going to go down the drain. Like, Jigsaw knew it was going to go down the drain, but
Yeah.
that was the key to his freedom. Their freedom. It could have, I don't, yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, amazing movie, incredibly well done, and nobody saw that end coming in a million years. Like, that was not on my bingo card at all.
No.
Like, he gets up, and you're just like, huh, the whole time? Because there were
The
moments in
whole
it you realize, like, well, how did he know that? How did he know that they were talking about the cigarette thing? How did they know that they, you know, the cameras were not, they didn't have microphones in them. So how did he know that they were talking about faking the cigarette part? But yeah, nobody would have predicted that at the end. He got up and you were just sitting there. I mean, you had that face that Adam
yeah.
had.
Oh, what?
What?
What just happened?
And the funniest thing is, like, what makes this movie even better when you go back and watch it again, knowing the ending,
Mm-hmm.
you're like, no shit. Huh. It makes it better. Like, for me, it makes it more interesting because you're really watching the little nuances and all the other little stories that come into it. It was just, it was, it's the original Saw is one of a kind.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is, and um, I gotta shout this one out too. Our the challenger here. So we got the two doing battle. You see Michael Myers there in the background. What did folks think of the original Halloween? When did you see it? How old were you? Did it traumatize you? That kind of thing. I want to know. So when did you, Jody? When did you first watch um the OG Halloween?
So I made the mistake of watching Rob Zombie's remake first.
Okay.
And I think that tainted it a little bit because then when I went back and watched the original, it felt a little dated. Obviously, Jamie Lee Curtis is the Scream Queen. She's the OG. Um, so I unfortunately watched the remake first, and I loved Rob Zombie's remake so much that the original felt a little dated for me. It's still an amazing movie. It started an amazing franchise. It also, in and of itself, is one of a kind.
Yep. It really is, and honestly, I just remember watching Michael Myers and especially in later films, but you watch Halloween and it's like, what is it gonna take
Yeah,
to put this dude down?
it's almost like in wrestling when people kick out of finishers, and you're like, "What the
Yeah,
hell, man?"
like what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
What in the world? So, yeah, I mean, I saw this way too young, I will say. Again, I've mentioned this before, but watching horror movies on Friday nights when my cousins were babysitting me, and they would always bring over um, VHS films, and most 95% of the films that they brought over were horror films, and
Yes.
it was
See, that's how I'm like with clowns. I watched
yeah.
it when I was a little bit too young and have been terrified of clowns ever since.
Hey, I will say this though: Tim Curry, who plays Pennywise,
Yes,
also plays in Rocky Horror Picture Show.
I did know that.
Okay, so you will love the performance, I will say. But yeah, it is one of those movies where it's like,
I think Caleb would slap my hand if he knew that I haven't seen Rocky Horror Picture Show.
well, that's why you at some point, if you get a chance this week, try to find it, check it out. Because it really is awesome. As a matter of fact, I need to go back and watch it now that we're talking. Um, so I put the link in the chat, folks. So um, vote vote on who's your winner of the bracket here. And I gotta say, I'm a little bit not really surprised, but I'm a little bit surprised at the margin of victory. We'll say.
I'm not.
You're not surprised, okay?
No. I mean, you know, yeah. I kind of figured that was where this was going to go.
Yeah.
Because there is a large debate on whether Jigsaw is an actual serial killer.
Right, right. And I think, to that point, I think if
He,
if we do a
he's
different type
technically
of
not a
bracket,
slasher.
right,
Yeah.
right. I think if we have Saw in a different bracket,
Mm-hmm.
then I think it's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when you're talking
You
about
put Saw in a
slashers,
in a psychological
yeah,
thriller type bracket, yeah, Saw could run away with it, but
not against Michael Myers.
not against Michael Myers. There was no way.
So let's refresh. Well, I don't think it'll change very much. It has not. Yeah, yeah. So I think it's safe to call it
Mm-hmm.
for Halloween. I think it's safe. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of business, maybe next week,
Yeah.
um, where we will discuss when we'll do a watch along, what day, what time, that kind of thing. So yeah, so we're gonna do a watch along on this channel for the OG Halloween, 1978 Halloween.
Yeah.
Uh, I get to see one of my crushes, Jamie Lee Curtis. Uh, what's up, Sean? What's up, Dalton? Anyone that's joined us in the last little bit, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Uh, so, if you're just joining us, we have a winner in our bracket for slashers, and that winner is Halloween.
Yep.
So,
Michael Myers
Halloween.
is your number one slasher.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right. And we'll be doing a watch along here on the channel for that. I'm pretty sure we'll have some guests that will join. I know Joe wants to really be a part of that when we do that. I'm gonna have some. I'm gonna have some like pop ups and different things throughout that watch along. So it'll be fun. It'll be a
Like
fun
pop-up
night.
video.
Like pop up video. That's right. That's right. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So what's up, Herdy Sketch? Thank you for joining us, Richie. We greatly appreciate it. So, Jody, your thoughts on the bracket, and how long do we have? How long are we going to wait before we do our next?
Ooh. Well,
And what should the topic be?
what should the topic be? What should our next topic be?
What category should it be?
What
Should it be?
category? I'm
I'm trying to throw out some suggestions in the chat.
I'm feeling some found footage.
Okay, I like that. I like that. Found footage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the best found footage movie?
All right.
Yeah, Richie saying paranormal, Negan saying movie monsters.
Yeah.
I'm feeling some found footage. You can't, because I feel like you can't put paranormal and found footage into the same category. There's just too many. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You know, because you've got paranormal, you've got movies like Paranormal Activity, you've got The Exorcist, you've got, you know, The Nun, you've got the Conjuring series. I mean, those are
Yeah.
all paranormal movies. But then you've got some amazing found footage movies too. You've got Dashcam, you've got Host, you've got Blair Witch. I mean, yeah.
The
So
recent one, what is it called?
the Outwaters.
Outwaters. Yeah, that one. Whew, that one's terrifying.
Mm.
That one's terrifying.
Mm.
Deanna going ahead and casting her vote. She's saying Blair Witch. Um, so yeah,
I think we could go with paranormal first.
paranormal. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we can do that. Tazzy's throwing out Final Destination. Listen, we
But
have
see,
to.
is Final Destination technically a paranormal movie?
We'll let you guys decide that. Where does Final Destination
What
fall into the
category does that
subgenre?
fall into? For
Yeah,
me, it's a
what's
psychological thriller. You know, when you think of paranormal, you are thinking of, The Exorcist, The Nun, The Conjuring, Paranormal Activity. You're thinking of those kinds of movies.
yeah, I'm interested. Like honestly, and Deanna brings up a great point here. She says,
Yes.
Tazzy, that's the reason I don't get behind trucks. Yes.
Funny story. Me and Ari just watched Final Destination this afternoon.
Really? The first one?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Negan Mox mentioning Quarantine as a good found footage film. I agree with that. Um, I think some of the VHS movies
Yes.
are really good found footage
Get a
movies.
Marink was a good found
Yep.
footage. I
Yep.
mean,
So
but going with paranormal, I mean, you can put so many things in there. I think that's your bigger category.
yeah,
Then we can go down to found footage or, demonic.
yeah. Static Marie bringing up Hell House. Really
Yes.
good. Really, really good.
Hmm.
Uh, Negan Mock saying Todd's death in the first one makes it paranormal that water follows him. That is true.
True.
That is true. Yeah. Well, listen, when I know we'll open up
The floodgate.
submissions and
Yeah.
everything soon. So yeah, we'll let you know what we're gonna decide on. But yeah, great suggestions in here in the chat. Hey Alicia, how are you? Hope you're doing well.
The
Jeremy Dunder,
Omen.
yeah,
Yep.
the Omen, yeah. Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, terrifying.
Rosemary's Baby.
Smile.
Terrifying. Smile. Yeah, yeah. So some good ones out there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, Jeremy Dunderman asking, where does Constantine fall? Now, I'm going to be honest here and tell you all that I've never seen Constantine.
I haven't seen it either.
Never seen it, and I
I
know
know
that's
kind of the premise for it,
yeah, yeah. I feel it. I
general
feel
synopsis, but
yeah. I've had so many people be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you haven't watched." I'm like, "Okay, I get it. I'll watch it, but I just haven't up to this point yet." But we'll let the chat decide about where that falls. Richie talking about Talk to Me. I want to see that. I really want to see it. It's a newer.
um, the skeleton key.
Oh, that's a good one too.
And was it Get Out?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one too. There's so many good paranormal movies, so I think that's a good. Yep, 13 Ghosts definitely better be in that bracket.
has to be.
Has to be
I
because
feel like it has to be.
it's amazing. That is
Yeah,
one of my all-time favorite scary movies ever.
yeah. I feel like it has to be.
There's nothing else like it.
Yeah, yeah. Hereditary for another paranormal movie. I don't know how
See,
many.
Caleb told me to watch that, and I still haven't.
It's creepy.
That's what he said.
Yeah, it's creepy. What's up, James Chadwick? Um, Richie St. Jody, you got to watch Talk to Me. You too, Jeff. Is it streaming? Is it anywhere streaming right now, Richie? Let us know. But yeah, there's a lot of great paranormal films that
The
we
Ring.
hope.
Yep.
The Ring. Oh gosh, The Grudge.
Yep.
Um,
So there you go. We've opened up the floodgates of paranormal movies. That's I think that's officially our next bracket. So anything that involves ghosts, demons, paranormal nature, go for it. Annabelle.
yep. By the way, you're all mentioning films that Joe just absolutely loves, like Deanna just alluded to.
Yeah.
I
I think
don't.
I think The Grudge was his favorite movie, wasn't it?
I think so. I think so. He might really like The Grudge.
Yeah. I
Obviously,
don't think he'll be joining us for that watch along.
that watch along. I can tell you, I can almost guarantee you. As a matter of fact, I will guarantee you that Joe will not be a part of that watch along. I will guarantee you. Um, so yeah. But yeah, we'll tell you where to send in your submissions. We're seeing quite a few movies in here.
I'll
So
probably start it next week.
okay, okay,
I'll put it
um,
up there.
okay, yeah. So so yeah,
We'll
we'll
do it
have
the
you.
same as last time. Once I put the tweet out there, you can either reply to it, you can quote tweet it, you can send me a message. And I literally all I do is write them down and tally up if somebody votes for it more than once and the top 16 get into the bracket. So,
And you know what we Joe just said you are 100% correct.
yep.
What's up, Joe? So yeah, so we'll be doing a watch along for Halloween on the channel. We'll get you details about that real soon. But yeah, I'm really excited about it, and it looks like we're gonna do paranormal for our next bracket challenge. So yeah, we'll get information about that going soon, possibly next week. Um, we at least we at least know. Hopefully, Joe can join us for that one, but we know that he's not gonna. We know he's not gonna watch The Ring or any of that stuff. Anything that we pick from that bracket, he's not watching. Yeah. Um,
I think we could do. I think we could do the Halloween one next show
okay.
if that works for everybody.
Yeah, we can. Maybe we can start a little early.
So then
Uh,
people can go watch NXT.
NXT. Yeah, yeah. So we'll get you details about that, folks. Just pay attention to social media and to our YouTube channel. We'll make a post and let you know when we're going to do it and what time and all the good details. And Joe said he'll be there for sure for Halloween, so that'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, I'm gonna take us back old school and do some retro pop up video kind of stuff. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Uh, really can't wait for that. It'll be very exciting.
Looking
Um,
forward to it.
yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So Halloween, let me put it up again. Halloween is your winner. So we'll be taking a watch of 1978's Halloween. We'll get you details and let you know. Um, Joe's horror film rules: no possession, no contortion, no long, stringy, black-haired, dead spirits, no rolled over white eyes.
See, no roll over white eyes, but you like the Undertaker.
Oh,
Woo!
I.
I went there.
But I will say this though. I will say this. Some of those movies do freak me out too.
Yeah.
Especially like when the first time I watched them, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is a little weird,
Yeah.
this is a little freaky. But yeah, yeah. There's Alicia, there's no way on God's green earth Joe's gonna watch The Ring. No way. Yeah.
Just don't
Joe
stay
said,
rolled.
don't stay rolled over. It's a good point. Fair point, Joe. Oh goodness. All right. Well, Jody, any final thoughts on the brackets? I know we want to thank everyone for participating, but anything else you want to say about this first set?
I think it went fairly much how I thought it would. I kind of thought it would come down to, one of the four OGs would win. I'm surprised Saw went as far as it did, but I'm not mad about
Yeah,
it. But
yeah.
if you want your movie to be in the next bracket, in the paranormal bracket, you have to let me know what it is. You have to send me a message or quote tweet the retweet tweet that I put out. You have to reply to it, because literally that's how I did it with the slasher movies. I wrote down what everybody said anytime I got a message or somebody commented, and if somebody commented, if I got the same movie twice, I put two tallies next to it, and literally the top 16 went into the bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell me as many as you want. You don't have to just say one. So once the information goes out there to start sending in your submissions for paranormal movies, make sure you do, because if you don't, they won't be in the top 16. Only the top 16 move on to the bracket. That's how I
That's
do it.
right. That's right. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. I thought this was really a lot of fun and something different. It kind of melds two passions together,
Yeah.
uh, wrestling and horror. So it's really really fun to do this, and um, yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with the watch along too. I know James Chadwick. Let me ask James Chadwick this, because I know James doesn't really do like the horror. He does some, but not everything. James, have you seen the original Halloween? And would you watch it again? It's my next question to you. So two-part question. So yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned to social media and to YouTube. We'll get information out to you so you can join us for that watch along. It'll be a lot of fun.
I guarantee you, with the paranormal top 16, I'm not gonna watch them all in one weekend.
No, no,
It's fine with slasher movies. Once you start getting into paranormal movies, like
it's different.
too many of them, it'll mess with your head a little bit. So I will watch those in a little bit slower of of yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, paranormal stuff will mess with your head after a while.
yeah. And you know another one that I haven't. James says he likes slashers. So okay. Um, another one I haven't seen people mention in terms of paranormal. Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
It's another good one. Um, I'm not going to submit one because I don't want to skew the voting, but I'll just say if anyone wants to throw Poltergeist in there,
It's a good
um,
one.
that's a good one. Richie saying I tend to find paranormal films a little funny, to be honest. Not
Certain
me.
ones do. Like
Certain
the
ones,
ones
yeah,
like Paranormal Activity, that are meant to be a little extreme, eccentric, not extreme, eccentric. That would be my better word. Yes, I can find some humor in those, but ones that, deal with like real demonic, based on true stories kind of stuff, like, that, like the Conjuring stuff. And there's another one that I watched, is, I guess it's technically a documentary, but Demon House. And
yeah,
things like that are based nefarious, I mean, that are based on those true stories. Like after a little while it gets to you. I kind of found that about watching that series 13 Reasons Why as well. Do not binge watch that series,
no,
especially if you have any history with suicide or anything like that. Do not binge watch that show, because after about three of them, you'll be depressed. And all those old feelings are, just don't binge watch 13 Reasons Why. It's a great show. It's not one to binge watch. So for me, paranormal movies that deal with demonic things are not binge watchers for me. I got to take my time with them. But I will watch them all.
same. I'm gonna say the same thing with Nine Perfect Strangers on Hulu.
Strangers.
Um, it's got a great cast,
Hmm.
and and I don't want to give too much away, but there are these people that go to basically this retreat
Mm-hmm.
um, because they're dealing with depression or different things, and that's a show that do not binge it. Give yourself
I'll tell you when you can binge watch The Chosen.
yes,
You can
yeah.
binge watch that one all day.
I got to catch up. By the way,
Oh, so
glad you
good.
glad you mentioned.
And apparently, if you've never seen The Chosen, season 4, I think they're actually going to do it.
Mm.
I think they're actually going to
There you
do
go.
like the arrest, the beating, the crucifixion, because Dallas, the guy that wrote it, and Jonathan Rumi, who plays Jesus, they were talking about how difficult this season was to film. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Ugh.
they might go there then.
And you've submitted
Ooh. Oh,
what
sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
from I've never seen it.
Yes,
And
it's
the
amazing.
great thing about The Chosen for me, I think it helped you, for me personally, like it helped me connect with Jesus on a completely different level, because it focuses so much more on his human side and how he was as a human being and a person and a real person. Unless like his miracles and things are in there, but it focuses so much more on like him laughing with children and just spending time with the disciples and how he, so you spent 3 seasons really getting to know him.
Mm-hmm.
And now in season 4, you're going to have to watch that all over again. Obviously, if you've seen Passion of the Christ, like now you have to watch something like that after spending 3 seasons of really, really getting to know who Jesus was as a man.
Yeah.
And I actually commented on something they said on Twitter. And I said, they were like, "Are you guys ready for season 4? I don't know if we're ready." And like put the teaser out there. And I replied and I said, "We are so not ready." And they replied and said, "You've got time." I'm like, I don't think we'll ever be ready to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richie, it is a TV series. They have their own free app, so you can watch it. It's just an app called The Chosen, and it's good. Like, I don't feel like there's a ton of, even if you're like not a religious person, I don't feel like there's a ton of, even though yes, it's about Jesus, I don't feel like it's shoving it down your face too much because they're exploring who Jesus was as a man. You know what I mean? So I feel
Yeah.
like people who aren't really religious could watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
phenomenal show. Great
I've
show.
got to catch up. I've got to catch up for sure. All right, Jody, you ready to get into some art here?
Yes.
All right. So we got a lot of stuff here for you this evening. Um, we'll start with this tattoo.
Hey, that's Negan's tattoo.
Right.
I love this. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is the tattoo I'm getting. I think I'm going to have Kyle do it because I think he could do it justice. Obviously, Kyle, very good friend of the show.
Mhm.
But this is a beautiful tattoo.
It really-
And I think I'm going to have Kyle do this one. And I have a guy here that I actually just found. Um, his name is Curtis Pierce, and he does a lot of work like Kyle with the shading and stuff, but he does it in color. Um, so I think I'm gonna have him do um, the lantern that Nicole drew, the lantern with the hat leaning up against it, and I think I'm gonna have him do that, and I'm gonna have Kyle do the moth. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. I have till my birthday to think about it. Unless, it was your first tattoo.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh. Bray would have loved that. He would have loved that. Like, yeah. He really would have loved that. Um, that something, my husband's first tattoo is going to be a Bray tattoo as well. And he's going to have Kyle do it.
Awesome.
That was his, his thing. He's like, if I'm getting a tattoo, it's gonna be a Bray tattoo, and Kyle's gonna do it. And I said, okay. So, that's the plan with that. Isn't that right, babe? You said if you were gonna get a tattoo, your first one would be a Bray tattoo, and Kyle's got to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See.
There you go.
I really love this. I don't remember. I'm really bad about like crediting. My apologies. I need to do a little bit better of a job on crediting the artists here. But I do get a lot of these, actually all of these, from our good friend Eric. He's Eric Russo. I may not be pronouncing that right. He is our artist extraordinaire. He always sends us and posts pretty much any Bray art that he can find. So really appreciate his hard work on doing that, because that's always where I go to find art. He posts other art too, but Bray is mainly his go-to. So
And he does a great job with like posting old promos and
mm-hmm.
different photos. I mean, he really does. So yeah, give him a follow if you don't mind.
His Facebook page is called The Abomination. That's where he does his Bray
Okay.
stuff from. He also has a Facebook group, the I think it's the original Bray Wyatt fans. That was the first one of the first really big Bray Wyatt Facebook groups. It is still one of the biggest Bray Facebook groups out there. The other one is the Firefly Funhouse fan group, which was created by my other friend Eric. And I've been an admin on that page since early on, when we had only a couple hundred people, and now we have over 30,000. So it's a beautiful thing. Um, so yeah, there's lots of love for Bray out there.
Always. Always.
This is Jesse's, and I don't think she's in the chat, but I love this one. I need a print of this for reals, so I can put it upstairs. Hopefully soon I'll actually be able to, stream from my upstairs. It's been taken over by a 16-year-old at the moment. Because Ari, I think she's going to be with us until the end of the year.
Okay.
She got a job, actually.
Oh, okay.
So congratulations to my 16-year-old stepdaughter Ari. Yeah, she got a job on the spot on Monday. She's going to be working at Marshall's.
That's awesome. That is so
And
awesome.
yeah, she's it's a seasonal position, so she's going to be working, obviously around the holidays and stuff. So really, she's doing really well. I'm really proud of her.
Good.
Okay, I really like this as a tattoo. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I should put my moth, because I have that buzzard tattoo with Bray's name under it. So maybe I should do the
Oh,
moth underneath it, upside down like that.
that'd be pretty dope.
That's not a bad idea. I might have to do that. So thank you to whoever made this, because you just given me my idea of where I want my tattoo. That way, that gives my forearm room to do the lantern and the hat.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sure where I wanted to put. I didn't know if I wanted to put the moth on my forearm and then figure out another place for the lantern. But I like that idea of having the moth underneath the buzzard.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So thank you to who made that, because you gave me that idea. Look, we are always going to support Kyle on this show, because he is a wonderful human being. He does a lot of hard work. He does a lot of amazing work. So anytime that man posts anything, I don't care who it's of, I'm going to put it on here, because Kyle is a phenomenal artist. Obviously, he's a good friend of mine. I've gotten to know him pretty well over the past few years. We have a bond, and he's one of my favorite people to talk to about Bray, because obviously he knows a lot more than I do. But yeah, so this is the Kyle Scarborough piece, and I love it. I love his style. He's got a very distinctive style. I said that last week, but yeah, anytime he makes a piece of artwork, I'm gonna put it on here, because we will always support Kyle.
That's right.
Brittany K piece, love her stuff too. I believe this one is new. And I really like this, because what attracted me to this one, looks like the fireflies are exploding out of the lantern. And for me, that's kind of poetic, because that's kind of what we do. It's almost in a biblical sense, that God told us to go and make believers of all, go and spread the word. And I feel like that's kind of what Bray had us do as well. He made us fireflies, and our job is to go and spread how wonderful of a person he was to everybody else. So for me, this picture really kind of symbolizes that, because it looks like we're just exploding out of the bottom of the lantern. So
yeah, I like that.
Bray had a lot of biblical ties to his characters, and I enjoyed exploring that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I wish we would have gotten to see more of it because I think I think that's where his big picture was. Just personally, I think that's where his big picture was. Um, this is wrestling edits, and I love this one because we all love the Fiend. I mean, you know, and I love that it's almost like he descended down the stairs
Hmm.
and left a trail on the way.
Yeah, I really like that. I
Dalton,
love it all.
we're we're blessed that you're a part of the fam.
Hmm.
I love this one. I think this is just a picture edit, but again, it's kind of the same thing. We're in the background. He's, you know, the light was always the closest thing to him. And symbolically, that's what we have to be now.
That's right.
Okay, this might be my next tattoo. Like I talked about Nicole's art with the lantern and the hat leaning up against it. I love what the way she drew that. It is very cartoon style, but I love this incorporating a little bit of this style into it as well. This is an Alanium piece, and he does some. He was where Kyle drew his inspiration from for his braid tattoo that he did on my back. So the only thing I would change about this is the flame. I would leave it lit
Leave it lit. Yeah.
because his fire will never go out because of us.
That's right.
But I
That's
love
right.
it. I love the cartoon comic book style. Nolanium's amazing at that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Another Black Mask Designs. Um, Howdy being the puppet master of the puppets. Legacy continues. Will it continue? Only time will tell. I think right now it's still too raw.
Hmm.
It's still too fresh. But I wouldn't mind seeing it down the road. Having, and I do think there are people that are drawing inspiration from this. Um, Obviously, Seth has said that he will honor Bray as much as he can with his outfits, and he's put different things in his outfits. And one day he came out dressed, and he was, bright yellow like a firefly. And I think Bray touched everybody else that was there so much that it's kind of come into their characters. Like Shinsuke is doing a little bit Brayish promos now in his style, and Joe Gacy obviously having that Bray flair too, and people like Vincent and Dutch just having that same kind of flair that he did. And I think that's a testament to how great he was and how talented he was, in the ring, and how wonderful of a person he was outside the ring.
Absolutely. I
I
like
love this one. So Eric Wyatt OG, the Abomination page, he edited this one. And I forget what the tagline was. It said something like the two brothers watching us from heaven. And this one made me tear up a little bit. I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. I have, I have an autographed picture in our living room that's autographed by Bray, Luke, and Eric. And somebody said to me once, like, man, you could get a lot of money for that now. And I'm like, I wouldn't. I wouldn't sell it.
Right.
For I just wouldn't. Like, yes, I probably could, but I wouldn't.
It's too valuable
Yeah,
personally.
all my Bray stuff is too valuable to me.
Yeah.
This one made me tear up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know if it's the infinity water that he's standing in, or um I don't know. The fireflies, again, like I was saying, the light was always the closest thing to them, and it's our job to keep it going.
Right.
Yes, you're right. Sometimes some things are priceless. Another Kyle Scarborough piece. I love this. So this obviously is a depiction of the man in the woods, and I wonder if this was a very early depiction of the fiend when they were starting to do this concept art and kind of him coming on and talking about Bray, and he would send things to him and he would say, let's change this or that or the other. I know that they had so many conversations about what he wanted to do with this character and what he wanted it to look like. And I remember Kyle telling me once, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but they would present things um as dark as they possibly could in order to get the most back. So I wonder if this is an earlier depiction of the fiend, because this is the man in the woods, right down to the slingshot.
Absolutely. Absolutely is.
Beautiful piece by Kyle. Love this. Anything black and white just does something to a picture. I don't really know what it is. It just makes it, for me personally, it's almost like it means more in black and white. Black and white just, I don't know, it just does something to a picture that it has a bigger impact. And I love this, because he will always be in our hearts and our memories. And I've lost people in the past, and I didn't know that grief could physically hurt as bad as it has. And I think a lot of that is just because it was so sudden and unexpected. But um, I think I said this to Caleb a few days ago. Like I didn't expect grief to physically hurt this much.
Yeah, it's grief is it will radiate pain everywhere.
Hmm. And it's physically painful. It's it kind of took me by surprise because obviously, like I said, like I've lost people in the past. I've lost family members, and it's been upsetting and it's been sad. But I feel like this was the first the first loss I've had that really like it it caused me so it still does causes so much physical pain.
Right.
Like it's not just emotional pain. I mean, you kind of always look at that, oh, heartbroken. And nobody really, I don't think anybody really, until they go through a loss like this of somebody that is priceless to them,
Mm-hmm.
what heartbreak really means.
Yeah.
But I do now. And let me tell you, I've been through some crap in high school. Some of you know the story about what happened to me in high school, some of you don't. And I thought that was heartbreaking. And it was. But, it's something that I've had to struggle with every day to move past and forgive. And, it but this is a whole different kind of heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yeah, it physically hurts. And I'm just a fan. Like I didn't, I got to know him a little bit and got to know him enough that, I could call him my friend, and, other people were able to get a little bit close to him too. But and so I can't imagine if I'm feeling physical pain. I can't imagine his family, his kids, his fiance, you know what I mean? Like people like Adam and Eric and, people that were really, really close to him.
Yeah.
There's my little tangent. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is another one. Like he's just missed.
Absolutely. He absolutely is.
It's like having I love this one. I love that one. So, um, AJ Styles art on their Instagram page. They've done a bunch of like cartoon Joker style like these of the Fiend, and they're amazing. So if you get a chance to look at them on Instagram, make sure you go look them up because they're amazing. Yeah, Alicia said it cuts like a knife. It really does. And it, grief is one of those processes that, like, you feel, there are days that I can laugh and remember funny memories. I remember funny things he did and really laugh. I mean, really laugh about it. And, you know, there are days that I have total confidence that I know where he's at and that I'll see him again. And then there's days that it just hurts. There are days that sometimes you just need to, and I don't think that's anything to be ashamed of or scared of, or, I think as human beings, we sometimes you need to feel that and really sit with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of moving on. Not moving on, but it's part of the grief process that, you know, sit with it. Don't distract yourself from it, because I know that's what we do as human beings.
Yep.
And, you know, you get into a dark place and you're like, oh, I need to listen to some music. I need to do this. I need to distract myself. Sometimes you need to sit in it. And I think it's those moments, for me personally, like those are when I really hear God's voice. Sitting in it, just being quiet, letting yourself feel it, allowing yourself to feel it. Personally, I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree. This is another great piece
Yeah,
by the same artist. That
by the
was
same artist, that AJ uh, art. Love
yeah.
it. So this is a Kyle piece, but I'm not totally sure who it's of.
I believe it's Brody King.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I wasn't totally sure who it was of, but as we said, as I said before, anything that Kyle posts, anything he draws, I'm gonna put it in here because he's a phenomenal artist.
Although I will say it looks a little bit like Ivar.
Yes, it does. I'll have to ask him.
Nonetheless, great piece.
Beautiful. Love this one too. Obviously, Kyle's very heavily involved the House of Black and does a lot of work with the righteous as well, which is great. I'm glad that he is able to share his brilliance with other people and still make money from it and be able to make a living from it. So another beautiful. I love this. I know that Vincent and Dutch love this too. But it just embodies them. It really does. You've got Dutch, who's got this silly funhouse Bray-ish kind, and I hate to keep comparing them to Bray, but you know they're very similar. They have that flair. So you know you've got Dutch that's kind of got this funhouse-ish kind of silly character, and then you've got Vincent, who's the philosopher and the cult leader Bray-ish style, and together they just make magic. They
Yeah.
really do.
This
They're
is,
phenomenal. Can't wait to have Vincent on the show soon.
yeah. Well, Jody, we're gonna head out here. I'm gonna come back to you for some final thoughts. Just want to thank everyone that is here and joined us this evening. We greatly appreciate it. Um, but yeah, any final thoughts from you, Jody?
Bray, we miss you. Always will. You'll always be my number one, even though you're not here anymore. Nobody will ever take that number one spot. Even though you like to pick on me for a certain singer getting dangerously close.
All right, folks. Well, thank you, Jody. Thank you, everyone in chat. And we
Thank you,
will
Jeff, for putting this amazing show together every week.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, thank you all for joining us and hanging with us every week. And we'll be releasing some information on the watch along.
Mhm.
So yeah, stay tuned to social media. We'll be back on this channel on Thursday for a must watch, can't miss episode of Impact Wrestling. It really is a pay per view quality match card.
That
So
it
come
is.
check it out. Come check it out with us. So thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time on Abby's Abode. Take care.